Hello, I'm Stuart Bloor, and it's the last day of the river season here in England, and can you believe it, I haven't yet been on flowing water in 2014. There have been two reasons for that. First of all, the Severn, like other rivers, and that's where I am today, has been totally inaccessible for much of that period. Not only has it been in the fields, it's also been in the towns, the streets and the villages as well. Secondly, I've been sidetracked. Now normally when we think of being sidetracked it's a bad thing, but as far as angling's concerned, as long as you're still on the bank, it's actually all positive. And I've just been tied up in the nicest possible way with other species and other venues. But being as the days have been coming down and the hours, I really wanted to get out onto the Severn and have one last fling, so to speak. So here I am, looking forward to it very, very much. I'm fishing air rig baits, I'm fishing with one rod. I'm going to be here till midnight and I'm looking forward to getting a barbel or two on the bank. I have fished this particular stretch before, this particular swim even. In fact, if you're out on the last day of the season, the last thing you want to be doing is pioneering new venues, new stretches, new swims, new pegs. You want to be giving yourself a reasonable chance of catching a fish. It's a lovely swim, it's got deeper water in front of me. That's probably a factor certainly during the winter at this time of the year. Overhanging willows, and I fish just off the end of those, and I cast the lead out, cast the bait out, and I allow it just to swing round nicely and position itself in the flow. As you can see, the bank's still bare, the effects of the recent floods, pretty brown and grim and devastated, but as you take a closer look you can see that nature is bouncing back, and there are dock plants coming through, common nettle is well on its way, and even lesser celandine in bloom. And that's the great thing about nature, isn't it? When you consider that this bank here where I am has been underwater for weeks on end, it's actually bouncing back within a very short period of time of the waters receding. And in many ways it's like us in life, isn't it? We go through those times when it seems like we've been overwhelmed, it seems like everything's against us, but if we just hang on in there, it'll all come good in the end. So it's great to see nature bouncing back, but more important, it's great to see people bouncing back when they go through their difficult times in life. At last, it's about 10:30 and finally into a fish. It's a barbel, and of course I know it's a barbel without any doubt. You know when you've got one of those on the end of the line. Anyway, I'm going to drop down now to the bottom of the bank and hopefully net it. So I'm going to end the season, my first outing of the year, actually with a fish. I'm really happy with that fish, of course. It's quite chilly, as you can see. I'm well wrapped up. The sun was out when I arrived, but it got steadily colder, particularly once the sun set. But I'm a happy camper, and I've got that fish on the bank, photographed it, and it's now back in the water. I've been doing a little bit of experimentation at the start of this video, as no doubt you will realise if you've got this far watching it. Just a few little things I wanted to try out, voiceovers if you like, and I'd appreciate your feedback on that, so please give that to me. But once I got into that fish, no voiceovers, straight down to business. Well, I've got an hour or so left, and who knows, might get another one, but if not, definitely happy camper tonight.